Good morning. This is a little glimpse into how the last 2 hours of my morning have been. Actually, it's been much worse than this, like full on screaming. They decided to be quiet just now as I've started the video, which is great, but why is it that they seem to know when I have a lot to do and they seem to play up on those mornings? Maybe they can sense that I'm trying to rush. But this morning the boys are having their 1 month checkup. It's actually a bit later than 1 month. We're actually at nearly 5 weeks. 5 weeks today? No, 5 weeks tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna go and see how much they weigh. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I hope they've gained enough weight. Jack definitely feels heavier. Henry's always been hard to tell because Jack is considerably bigger. But he had gained the most last time and we were really shocked. So let's see. But yeah, as you can tell, this video is going to be my 1 month postpartum and baby update. I can't believe it's been nearly 5 weeks. That is blowing my mind. So yeah, we're going to the appointment today. Let me just show you the babies. They've still got this little bit of baby acne going on. I'm really excited for that to all kind of go away. Oh, he's smiling. Are you smiling? No, not anymore. Not for you, Mum. And here's Henry. Hello. Lord knows that if I hadn't have had the use of pacifiers, I would have been in another level of crazy right now. The minute they drop it, this happens. Which is actually very, very annoying, but I'm hoping soon they'll have that coordination to keep it in, and that will make life a lot easier. So yeah, anyway, today is basically going to be a talk through how I'm feeling, how they've been, what's been going on this past month. I know I did this after a week, but a lot has changed. So I'll start with them. Should I start with them? Because we're going to the appointment. Yeah, I'll start with them. And then obviously update you when we get home from the appointment later. I understand this is really going to be quite a boring sit down video, so if you're not interested then turn this off now, because we ain't going to be going anywhere. We're just going to be sat in here. So the first 2 weeks was like a breeze. They really didn't bother us that much. There was a little bit of crying, but it was nothing crazy, and on the whole they were in sync with each other, and I think that was what made it so much easier. Now I'm really starting to notice these last 2 weeks that when one is sleeping, the other is awake, and when one is crying, the other one is sleeping, and it's kind of in this pattern of like they're on opposite schedules, which is scaring me for when I want to get them in a routine. They're still too young to be starting a routine. I was watching another video of a mum with a boy of 1 month, and he was like 10 pounds and she already had him in this really cool routine, and I was just like, what? But I don't know if that's just because she's an experienced mum of 4 and she obviously had her baby at like over 40 weeks, so these would still only be like a week old if that was the case. So we'll see. Hopefully in a couple of weeks I can start trying to initiate a bit of a routine. Alex is actually going back to work starting Monday full time. He will be working from home maybe 3 out of the 5 days of the week. So it's not terribly scary because I will have him here, but in terms of how much he can help me, I don't know. And I'm actually pushing for him to go to work more in the office because our house is so open plan. I don't really know how I'm going to keep the noise down for him when he has calls and things like that. And we don't have anywhere for him to work upstairs, like in a bedroom or anything. So he has to be downstairs. And one of the most challenging thing that I found with having twins is just the coordination of getting them here, there, to this room, to that room, because for now I can't pick them both up because of their head strength. So I have to take one upstairs, go back downstairs, take the other one upstairs, and then there's nowhere secure other than their cot for them to be. So it's just a bit challenging juggling them both for now. I've actually thought of getting my carrier out and putting one in there, but it's just, I don't know, the amount of times that I have to feed them in the day, and I'd rather just like be downstairs and stay downstairs and be upstairs and stay upstairs for the night. So still trying to figure that all out. If anyone has any tips, I would love to know. Please comment down below. So yeah, those first 2 weeks were quite a breeze as well with the feeding. I didn't seem to have any troubles with feeding. I am exclusively breastfeeding for now. Last week was the first week that I started trying to tandem feed them. and I got all sorts of problems, and I think it was from that. Like, I think I had a bit of mastitis, and I was trying to look online, and there's something called like vaspiration. I don't know what it is, but just so much pain going on there for a couple of days. It's kind of started to like ease off now, so hopefully that's that. I'm not tandem feeding them every feed. I'm kind of just playing it by ear, depending on how busy I am, what I'm doing, and how hungry they are. If they're both screaming together at the same time, then obviously I'll try to feed them both together. But I do still feel that they get a better feed and they're much more relaxed when I feed them separately. But it's just so time consuming. I think it takes me a good hour to feed them both, change them both, and have them both settled again. So doing that every 3 hours is intense, and at night it is not fun. I am also pumping. No idea with this, don't really have a schedule. I'm just doing what I can do in the day. The paediatrician said I was doing a good job with feeding them, so I haven't really changed anything that I'm doing, but I am not doing a set amount of pumping in any day. I'm just doing what I can. She said at least 2 or 3 times. To be honest, I'm really not managing 3 times a day, because as I said, I have 2 hours in between feeding them to then pump. I really need to be quiet and like I'd have them when I pump, because if they start crying I can't move and I can't reach them. So I'm probably managing 2 times a day, sometimes 1, but that seems fine, and I'm getting quite a stock of milk in the freezer, so I'm just continuing with that and seeing how that goes. I'm hoping today she'll give me some more insight into how I'm doing. What I will say is it is making me so thirsty and so hungry. I literally wake up at night and I want to go downstairs and eat. I've resisted doing it, and some people said about like keeping snacks by the bedside table, but I don't know, it feels really weird to start eating at 2 AM. So I haven't been doing that, but I do wake up so hungry, and I always get through like this whole thing at night, maybe sometimes more than 1. So yeah, I would say that's it for the feeding. No idea. I would love to carry on and make it to 6 months, but I don't know how feasible that's going to be, and I'm really eager to see how it's going to be when Alex goes back to work. So I'll probably do a 2-month postpartum update and let you all know how it's going then and how our routine is. So hopefully lots of changes in this 2nd month coming up, which is scary but exciting. So going back to them and their changes. Obviously they've both got slightly bigger. We haven't actually realised it, but we looked through some photos yesterday of like the first week that they were home and how they looked in the cot, and we were like, oh my god, they're so much bigger now, and just like how they were fitting into their clothes. Some of the newborn clothes are just slightly smaller than others. I guess it's a brand thing, and they both kind of look tight squished into those. So maybe 1 more week, 2 more weeks, and they will be out of newborn, I think. And then as far as they are, they've definitely gaining head strength. They're trying to lift their head a lot, and they're just kind of like bouncing the head to and from. When you hold them, it's really frustrating because they just keep like, like pushing their head back, which when we're burping them, it's very frustrating. The alertness is great. They're definitely more alert during the day. Funnily enough, they're normally fast asleep at this time of day. Don't know why they're having a big fuss this morning, but probably because mummy's busy and needs to get ready for the appointment. We're also, guys, did you hear that? Excuse me. That's one thing about these boys. I have never known babies to have this much gas. I don't know if that's normal, but not coming up via burp the other way. It's constant. So I don't know what I've got in store for when they grow up. Ay, 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 put it in your mouth. So yeah, they're being more alert during the day, which is lovely, opening their eyes, reacting a little bit to us when we speak, and when I'm holding the cards with tummy time and things like that, so that's lovely. Bath time's been interesting. They're slowly starting to like it a bit more, and less crying every time we do it. That again is a whole juggling act that I don't know how I'm going to do when Alan's not here, so just trying to figure things out for that. I'm actually getting a doula in next week when Alan's at work for just a 1 shift of 4 hours, and I'm hoping that she can just help me with how to like juggle the both with the feeding and bathing and up and down the stairs and things like that. I'm hoping she has some new ideas that I haven't thought of and like can see around the house and see how to make things easier for me. As far as telling them apart, we are getting there. Some days we think we've got it and then other days we don't. When they're on their own, it's very hard, but when they're together, we can normally tell who's who. Henry is slightly smaller, and not that it's very obvious really, but his head is in a smaller shape. Jack has really full cheeks and more of like a round face. I do think Henry looks a lot more like Aled. I'm going to put up some baby pictures here and do like a comparison just to show you all. So I'll put up here, this is Henry and this is Aled, and then I'll put up me and Jack because this is how we think we can see similarities. So you can have a look below, but this is me as a baby and this is Jack. One other thing that is distinguishing them is their ears. For me, I can tell by their ears. Jack has more of like a rectangle ear, whereas Henry's a more kind of square, and he's got one squishy ear that apparently got squished in my stomach, and they said it would kind of even out, but it hasn't done yet, so I'm telling by that as well. And of course the toe nail varnish that we've put on Jack, but normally his feet are covered, so that's not really helpful unless you're changing diapers or they're just in nappies. I apologise that I keep switching between diaper and nappy. Obviously in the UK we call it a nappy, and out here in the US we say diaper, and I don't know, I just keep switching between the two. I do it with a lot of words, trash and bin, things like that. So my words for things are all kind of muddled, so apologies for that. What else can I tell you? A little bit about my routine and their routine. Obviously I said that we don't really have one yet, but on the whole I normally stay upstairs in the morning from when we wake up. I try and feed them between 7 and 8 as their first morning feed, and then I'll stay upstairs until probably about midday, so after they've had the second feed, which is normally like 10ish, 11, and then I'll stay downstairs for the rest of the day until like normally like 9 p.m. Which I'm not sure. Sometimes I think that we should have a monitor and we should put them up after their like 7 p.m. feed into their cot and keep it all dark and just wake them up to feed them, but I don't know, they're still so fussy that I don't want to be up and down the stairs all evening either, so not sure. Maybe that's something I can ask her today. So yeah, that's really the only routine I've got. We've been all going out as a family walking the dog, which is also going to have to change as of next week, and this is one of my biggest challenges, how I'm going to sort them and the dog. The dog is not very patient. He's definitely struggling with adapting to these babies, more so in the last week than he has at the beginning. I think it's kind of, he's got used to it now, the fact that they're here and they're staying here, and he really doesn't like it when at the beginning when I was holding them, but now he's so close with Aled as he's been walking him every day that he hates it when Aled holds them. So now we're struggling with the both of us and his jealousy, but we'll get there. I know it's just perseverance and just time, I guess, and soon he will love them, I'm sure. So that's Hendrix and my routine. When I get back from the doctor's appointment, I will update you about their weights, and I will also talk a little bit more about me and show you my belly postpartum, and might talk about weight loss and all that stuff. But other than that, I can talk about me emotionally. That's been very up and down. Honestly, I haven't struggled that much. There's been a couple of weekends, and I found that it's kind of coinciding with things that I'm doing. If I'm having a day where I'm not doing anything at all, I don't get out of the house, I just stay indoors and I have no plans and no set schedule, I feel so low. So for me it's been really important to kind of plan out a day, even if it means like I'm gonna cook something, or I'm gonna clean something, or I'm gonna do a little few things around the house that need doing, or I'm gonna sort out photos of the boys or their journals or something. I just need a little bit of a plan in my day to work around feeding them, rather than just feeding them, waiting 2 hours, feeding them, waiting 2 hours. I feel like that is what slides me into a bit of a downward low. So we've had a couple of weekends where it's been a bit like that, where we've been really tired and we've done nothing all day, and Aled and I both struggled and felt like, oh my god, we need to get out in the day, otherwise it's just makes us feel even worse. So even no matter how tired we feel, we're trying to get out and walk again next week. We'll see how it goes. The dog cannot walk very well with a stroller, so I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I've got to learn at some point, and so is he. So I guess there's no better time than now. But that's it, guys. I'm going to run through a few more things when I get back from the doctor's. But I will say, look what's going on. So Alec decided yesterday morning, he decided yesterday morning that he wants to spend the last 3 days of his paternity leave or time off with the boys away. So we searched high and low for somewhere to go because obviously it's very last minute and also COVID, so there's not many options. But we found this really nice house which has only had about 4 guests all year, and they're really conscientious about keeping it clean and having extra days to clean the house after guests have been. And the owners seem so lovely. They actually have a golden retriever themselves and 2 kids, so there was a lot of similarities there, and they're really excited about us staying there for a few nights. So we're going from Thursday to Sunday. I have no idea what I'm doing. How much I've got to pack is crazy, and it's all going to be a bit of a mad show, I think. So you can guess what the next video is going to be, guys. Our first little holiday as a family of 5. I know that this property has like 2 acres and there's goats in the backyard, so Hendrik is going to have the time of his life, and that's what we're really excited about. Really, we just want to give him a good time. We just want to chill out, do our normal thing in another house, but go on some nice walks and just have a bit of a change of scenery, really. So really excited about that, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crazy things happening, challenges and all those stuff that comes with having 2 newborns. I am a bit nervous because we're somewhere new and we don't have, I don't want to not have anything that I might need drastically. So I'm packing like a thermometer and things like that, because God forbid they were poorly or something like that. Come here. I would feel awful for going away. So we're going to keep you well, and we're going to keep you happy, and we're going to take you on lots of walkies. Yeah? You want to see some goats? Yeah? You going to say hi, Henry? Are you going to say hi? Yeah, hi. So yeah, they're still awake. I don't know why they're still awake. They've been awake since 7. Haven't you? It's time to go sleepy. They really want to eat, but I'm trying to wait for like another 10 minutes because of this appointment. So, in fact, 10 minutes isn't long, so I better get going. And I'll be back on here later talking about what else I've got to pack and how the appointment went. So I'll speak to you all then. Well, I'm back. It's now much later. It's just about 8 PM and I am exhausted, if you can't tell. Today has been hectic, to say the least. I've been trying to organise for this trip that we go on tomorrow, and Lord knows how much stuff I need. It's kind of stressing me out a little bit that I'm going to forget something vital, but I think we're getting there. I'm trying to cross things off, but so many things that I'm using tomorrow morning, so I'm trying to write those down so that I don't forget and panic. But we also had to pop to Target, and we were planning on going after the doctor's appointment, but as per usual the boys needed feeding and it was just going to run way too late, so we had to come home and then go back out later. The dog has not had enough exercise today, so he is full of energy, which when you're tired is just not ideal, but that's fine. He doesn't know he's about to go on holiday and he's going to love life. So yeah, we had to pop to Target because we needed to pick up another chair. We only have 1 collapsible chair for the boys to sit on, as well as a pack and play. So that's all we're taking with us, two foldable chairs and the pack and play, which they can sleep in at night and be in the day if needs be. I also plan on taking the 2 carriers and obviously their car seats, but I'm getting way off track. This will all be in the holiday vlog, which is coming next, probably on, this will be uploaded on Tuesday, so Friday. And I'm really excited. We've got quite a lot planned for the couple of days that we're there. Weather persisting, I think we'll have a lot of rain, so we'll see. Anyway, the doctor's appointment was fantastic. The boys are doing great. They were £9. Henry was £9 and Jack is £9.6. So they've gained a good £2.5 since our last visit, which is crazy. I literally thought they'd be early 8s, if that. You don't realise when they're your own and you're picking them up every day that they're really gaining that much weight. So we were really pleased about that. There was a couple of issues. Henry still looks slightly yellow. He's been tested for jaundice and didn't have it, but she wants us to keep an eye on that. over the next couple of weeks, and if it gets worse we have to take him in. And then Jack has a little bit of an issue with his belly button. She called it a umbilical hernia, but she thinks it will go as his stomach muscles develop, so we need to keep an eye on that as well. When I heard hernia I was literally like shook and worried, but she said it was nothing to worry about and it was only very, very slight, so we'll keep an eye on that. And that was it as far as the appointment went. I did ask a couple of things about their gas and feeding, but she couldn't really help me, so it was more just about the boys. But she's given us some medication for the gas, so we're going to start them on that and see how that goes. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's like the vitamin drink that I give them, and it's like droplets again. I need to go and get that actually. Hopefully when we're away we can find somewhere to get that. And yeah, that was it as far as the boys go. I was going to touch base about me, and I hope I'm not blurry. I really feel like this is not focusing. I'm going to show you quickly tomorrow morning my belly shot, because I really just don't feel like doing that now and the lighting is awful. So I'll pop on tomorrow just before we go and show you that. But as far as I'm doing, I was going to mention my weight loss. Surprisingly, and I don't know how, when I came back from the hospital on September 7th or whenever it was, I was literally at my pre-pregnancy weight, but I felt awful compared to pre-pregnancy. So obviously there must have been a lot of muscle wastage, which is why I wasn't any heavier, because obviously the muscle weighs more. So I now just feel very jelly-like, and like I feel when I see my legs, I don't think they're my legs, but now I just want to get my muscle back, and I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be going back to the gym anytime soon. So there's just going to be a new me for a while until I figure that out. Then exercise, I did actually email the doctor about exercising again, because I really just felt like I wanted to start doing something other than walking, and her response was don't lift anything heavy and don't bend awkwardly. So for me that was kind of like don't do anything. So I am just going to leave it until the 6-week mark and then try and introduce some exercise in some form. I might start doing a bit of jogging if I can find any time in the day to do that, and we'll figure it out. I know Aled is wanting to exercise with his weight loss journey, so maybe we can find something to do together with the babies and the dog. And then I can't believe I'm just back to normal and there's 2 babies downstairs. It feels surreal to me. But yeah, I need to go finish off packing before tomorrow, because I still have a lot to do, and I've just finished pumping. I need to figure out how I'm going to do all this when we're away, because that's blowing my mind. I guess I'm just going to have to get rid of milk, which is horrible because I can't freeze it and then bring it home, and the boys just don't need all of this milk, so that sucks. But anyway, I will speak to you tomorrow.